You are listening to Bottoms of the Barrel on AM 1680 Q4 Radio, Q4.org. I am your host, Thomas Bottoms. I am joined in the studio with Dan from Ether Obscuria.
Hello.
How are you doing, Dan?
Doing all right. It's good to be back.
Oh, good to have you back. You got a good radio voice, Dan. I don't know how to compete. Sometimes I feel like I drop it low, but you just seem to drop it lower. Dan, you're so bashful. You're just so shy and everything like that. You know. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted today. See, I'm gonna ever and be because today's theme is gay music that I, as a gay man, just don't enjoy. And this is brought on by my great friend, the man who has made many appearances on Bottoms of the Barrel, and this is going to be his last one. And we're recording in a time where we did not know if we were or not going to make it. And what time is that? That is this is the warmest day in 146 years. We have Juan.
And it's still overcast.
And that's right.
Well,
that's everybody. That is Mike
Chicago.
W.
This is Chicago.
This is me. Hello.
You know, I never saw Chicago with a sunny day until I moved here. Every time I was here, it was overcast like this.
Yeah, I didn't move to Chicago for the sun.
No. I moved here from LA, so it was like the first day I got here, it was like September 1st, and it was like 70 degrees, and I'm like, what is happening? I was used to like 100-degree weather.
Oh. See, I like the cold. Some of us are extra frigid.
No, I grew up in the desert.
So we are joined in the studio with Dan, Juan, Mike W, and the partner in crime sitting next to his piece of satin, the girl by his side, the loyal sidekick, if you will, if he was a Bond villain, Mikey Chip.
Hello.
How are you doing today, Mikey Chip?
I'm good, though I'm falling off my chair right now currently.
We're just going to kind of let it all be trashy today because we're doing an episode on the Scissor Sisters.
Yay!
Their 2004 self-titled album, sometimes known as one of the top 1,000 albums you should hear before you die.
It's wonderfully fabulous.
And I'm putting fabulous around quotation marks because as a gay man who's known Thomas and Mike for a while, I'm like, I hate a lot of things, and this album is one of them.
Why do you dislike the Scissor Sisters or this album, Juan?
Because he's a hateful queen.
See, sometimes when you hate him, though, you accurate.
No.
You forget that sometimes you accurate. Like, people say I hate on Beyonce, but I'm accurate.
Hateful queens need to stick together, you know.
I just think I'm cynically realistic. I mean, I've never been a fan of the Scissor Sisters except for that one Bear Light guy that had a beard.
Baby Daddy.
Yeah, whatever his name is, I've never bothered to find out.
Well, they sound like Elton John meets Pink Floyd, and well, honestly, I don't like either of those artists, so it's not really coming
A
up
lot
from...
of Bee Gees in there, too.
Yeah,
Bee
there's a
Gees,
huge
Bee
Bee Gees influence. There's some bizarre Queen, like Mika was more Queen, but it's still...
I, of course, love almost every artist that you've mentioned so far, with the exception of Pink Floyd, and I'm only like some Pink Floyd.
No, as someone who's enjoyed Pink Floyd for the last 6 years since I first heard them, but yeah, theoretically, all those sound nice. I just, when it comes together in the Scissor Sisters, I'm just like, I could use something better.
Oddly enough, when Mikey, Chip, and we moved in together and his CD collection merged with mine and the Bottoms of the Barrel music, if you will, we both had copies of the Scissor Sisters' first album.
It's because it's an incredible album. Actually, I guess I could say I could retract that. I mean, it's not incredible, but it's a very good album.
I will say it has gotten less annoying the more I've heard it.
I mean, it's just
But
an album
I just
that
don't
everybody
know if
has.
I'd like to hear this. It's like Elton John is like Crocodile Rock, but I just don't relate to this character. I like to believe I'm somewhat, I don't know, more funky, more fabulous. I don't know, like they say, black don't crack, and I got mine from injection. It's just one of those, it's like Wonder Bread whiteness to grab a hold of, and I just don't have these genes.
Yeah, but with the Scissor Sisters, people of color have done it better. Much better.
That's how I feel. I do. Like, I can tolerate some Pink Floyd. I have the Pink Floyd The Wall, and we're going to do a cover wars later on of Pink Floyd versus the Scissor Sisters. And we're just going to
I'm not even talking about Pink Floyd. I'm talking about the Fiji's influence. I'm talking about the disco influence that they have. The Bee Gees. I am so... I'm talking about the Bee Gees influence that they have. I'm talking about, the fact that they're super 70s disco, but, at the same time, people have done it better.
Yeah, and like the disco influence, when you come to like disco, I think I want to do more like Glow of Love by Change verse with Luther Vandross, or You Can Ring My Bell by Anita Ward. Like, you want to do the more obscure
or some Evelyn Champagne King.
Yes, You Make My Love Come Down. Like, you want that kind of fabulousness. And the Scissor Sisters are straight up full throttle shrill Bee Gees. Oh, yeah. And the Bee Gees to me were one of the, I get that they brought it mainstream, don't get me wrong. I remember dancing with Lil Tommy Carter to the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, and you can tell by the way I walk my walk, and I had my polyester white leisure suit with the white vest and the white pant, and Tommy Carter took off his shirt and swung it around his head like a helicopter. My mama didn't like that story, and the Native American boy JJ, him and I would go up in the mountains and perform the Blue Lagoon. He would run around shirtless, and I'd paint on my eyebrows with a Sharpie, like I was Brooke Shields, honey.
Oh my gosh, you still do.
I still do. And but like Scissor Sisters, like Bee Gees, like I don't. Like, you can sense a lot of Bee Gees and 80s Diana Ross and Dionne Warwick, and it's not always a welcome sound. Like, the Bee Gees have a specific sound, and that's their disco sound, but disco got better under different artists. But
the Bee Gees are still fabulous.
No disrespect to the Bee Gees and disco, and sometimes the gateway drug is the drug that leads us to better and bigger things, and I probably would never have found a love of 1940s and 1950s jazz and pop if I hadn't developed an interest in Red Hot and Blue, the 1990 Cole Porter homage, or if I'd never bought the really bad Sinead O'Connor Am I Not Your Girl, to only then find a Friends like Julie London album that suddenly is like, oh, this is how this stuff's supposed to sound. This is the good stuff. Yes. Like they are gateway drugs, and it's okay. And maybe and that's what the Bee Gees were. They were gateway drugs. But I don't own much Bee Gees other than the soundtracks and disco compilations they're featured on because there was better disco.
I have a lot of
Scissor Sisters. Cheers.
You are listening to Bottoms of the Barrel on Q4 Radio, AM 1680, Q4.org.
You are listening to Bottoms of the Barrel on AM 1680, Q4 Radio, Q4.org. I am your host, Thomas Bottoms. I am joined by Dan, Juan, Mike W., and Mikey Chip right here next to his Satin.
Woo!
Satin, a cat that... Well, she would be the meanest one on the block, but everyone remembers Boogie. And Boogie was a little bit more vocal about her hatred, or at least she was pretty enough to make you want to have her love. But we just got the privilege of listening to, in this lifetime, the openly gay band Scissor Sisters performed Laura with a piano intro that just reminds me of Dolly Parton's 9 to 5. Opinions.
Just to say, of all the remixes of the 9 to 5 intro, this was my least favorite.
Was there any part of the song that was original?
You know, the word. The
Which
words.
specific parts are you talking
that's
about, Dan?
great,
Dan?
right?
What
Well,
influences are you seeing? Are you...
The opening was the obvious 9 to 5. The piano came from somewhere. I haven't figured out which Elton John song it was, but it's not original.
That it's actually a song that I've actually usually skip.
Oh, so...
And I myself, I like the Scissor Sisters, but usually on their first album, usually the first two songs, those are usually the first two songs that I usually end up skipping.
So why would you put your worst foot forward?
Because it was the closest one to Dolly Parton. It was the only good one.
Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living.
When that song started playing, I literally wanted to start karaokeing 9 to 5.
I did that this morning when I put it on. It was like do, and I just started like go bed for the mission, pour myself a cup of ambition, toss and turn to try to come alive. God, I commend them because I faced the day like 10,000 maniacs about the weather. It's like, I don't want to get out of bed. It's a cold and rainy day. Where's the sun? Oh, Lord, I get horribly depressed. At 9 to 5, you're just mildly annoying.
Yeah, but you know, with your 9 to 5 job, you just got to get up and, you know, get living. You know, just go with Dolly Parton if you want to.
There ain't no living.
No, you just got to go with Dolly Parton.
Okay, so you didn't like this song either. And so we started off on a bad
Not necessarily,
note.
but at the same time, I guess I need to listen to it a little bit more because I don't really hear the 9 to 5 connection, I guess.
Oh my God. No, I'm afraid to do even more of that song because I'm afraid Dolly Parton is going to send us a bill.
Okay. So I guess we're going to the next. We staggered into this, so we're gonna do the "Take Your Mama."
Oh well, you know we did have another song after Laura too.
Yeah,
that I'm gonna be throwing in post. You do realize that because we'll need to fill out time.
And with
So
this
there'll be a
time,
couple extra songs.
Yes,
in there.
yes. Mike W introduced us to songs too. So we're just gonna do the "Take Your Mama Out Tonight," which is. In the summertime when the weather is hot, you can
That's
get right
them?
up and touch the sky. I don't know. That's solely how Take Your Mama Out Tonight and show you what it's all about.
It was their biggest hit on this album, though, and it's actually in my opinion, it's a good song.
It's a good
but
song.
it, like for me, there are a lot of other good songs on this album that stand out a little bit more to me than just this one.
and I think
I think so, and we will get to those songs.
Yeah.
We will. We have them. I am very excited for the cover wars of Comfortably Numb because Pink Floyd versus Scissor Sisters, in my opinion, is going to be kind of shocking to people.
Definitely for me, I can't imagine what it's going to sound like.
And
Yeah.
So we will get to that. It's just Scissor Sisters again. It's I don't get the early '70s Elton John.
Yeah, no, but
genre.
with this
Jake
song,
Jake Shears apparently did it for him, and then his baby daddy. Oh, and then there's those other people.
but I
Or is
also
it just those three?
For
The-
me,
the
it's
bassist is not unattractive. But
for me, it's Patty Boom. I guess that's the drummer.
or was it? Yeah.
I don't know these people.
I don't know these people
I'm
either.
basing this purely off of
that's
their
kinda far
music,
away.
darling. It's
Yeah,
all
I'm
their
just-
music.
My
So
biggest
we're
question,
gonna-
He was the
My
he was
biggest
the one
question-
I always had a crush on.
you know, my biggest question is what genre was this song? Because it wasn't, you know, 70s disco inspired.
Rip off.
It was a ripoff of like 2003, 2004 alternative music.
Well, Scissor Sisters is considered indie rock. They are viewed as an indie
No,
rock band.
their first song is considered indie. No, not even.
Well, that's
indie
what
rock.
iTunes has them categorized as I'm
'cause
trying to adapt to
iTunes
this.
Can't keep up with
this
the inconsistency
technology.
within, you know, the Scissor Sisters.
They're still fabulous.
Yeah, sure.
I can't argue. You win. I do think based off the first song, Laura, and I bought Scissor Sisters, and I think Mikey Chip did too. It's sort of one of those, we gotta support our gay artists, and we end up with things like Ricky Martin CDs.
And I like Comfortably Numb and Take Your Mama Out, and I was like,
and that was going to be the next song we were going to play.
And then I bought the album, and then I'm like,
There are, yes. I already forgot what I was.
Exactly, and you're the Scissor Sister fan.
It's okay. Let's listen to Take Your Mama Out by the Scissor Sisters and see how we're doing.
plus another song or two.
You are listening to Bottoms of the Barrel on Q4 Radio, AM 1680, q4.org.
You are listening to Bottoms of the Barrel on Q4 Radio, AM 1680, q4.org. I am your host, Thomas Bottoms. We are aiming low for success this week, which means we are going to aim to fill 2 hours of airtime as we listen to the Scissor Sisters. We are joined in the studio by my partner in crime, Mikey Chip, with his little sand. Now, we are joined by Dan, Juan, and Mike W.
Good to be here.
May you be forever moist.
And you have a nickname for Satin. What is your nickname for Satin?
I can't really say it on the radio.
Satan?
Oh, yeah. That too.
Oh, I hate to hear what you call my kitty other ways. So, oh goodness, where do we start? Do you want to do the cover wars first, or do we want to talk about the Take Your Mama Out tonight?
No, I think this is one of those rare. Okay, if we're going to talk about the cover first, I have a whole bunch of ideas, but let's go back to
Take Your Mama Out.
Take Your Mama Out tonight sounded so much to me like, hold on, just a little bit tighter now, baby.
No, I think the only thing I can
Love
think
you
of.
so much that I can't let go. Whoa, hold on. Like,
I think if we can get back to the conversation, I think the only thing I can think about when I think of this song is the TLC commercial for John and Kate plus 8's last season.
All I know is that nothing about the song was original. I'm surprised when Thomas said earlier that it was classified under indie rock because... What? Come on.
No, I think this was written before the Scissor Sisters knew what type of genre they were. They had indie pop, they had alternative
just because
pop.
they're not in a genre that we can easily dissect
This
and
was written
define,
before they
is
had
it
records.
enjoyable? Do we enjoy this song?
No.
Yes.
Meh.
That. Okay.
If it comes on, I won't be upset, but if I never hear it again,
This
I'm
was the
kind of
song
okay
that I
with that
bought.
too.
For me, this was the song that I purchased their first album for to begin with, and it was their first hit. And as I listened to the rest of the album, that particular song started falling further and further in the back, and I started listening to that one less and less.
And I think because we've done fandom videos before, and to you, that's a great thing that you found other tracks of Scissor Sisters to explore and to enjoy. And it's just one of those, Take Your Mama Out. I don't know what I expected from Scissor Sisters, but there is a level, like, I just bought it because I was gay and I'm going to support the cause. Like, I have an erasure collection. We're just going to support the cause.
I find obscure music from an artist that I love, I thoroughly usually enjoy it.
But this isn't obscure.
This isn't obscure.
This was TLC, the Learning Channel's entire summer premiere lineup music for 2005. This wasn't obscure. This was in our face for an entire year.
But who's to say TLC didn't take it from them?
It was
No, I'm not talking about TLC the band. I'm talking about TLC the Learning Channel.
Oh, all the same.
No, their entire lineup was this advertisement in our face for an entire summer.
Now, just because someone has to sell their song as an advertisement doesn't mean it's a bad piece
this
of
isn't
music.
obscure. I'm just saying this isn't obscure.
Oh. Yeah, I want to call the Scissor Sisters, their first album, obscure. And Dan, you want to say something? I'm going to let you
It's not
speak.
obscure because it's not original. I mean, this has
Not
been around
original.
since the 70s. It sounds exactly the same.
that's why I give it a meh.
Meh.
Like if it comes on the like we said, or like you said earlier, if it comes on the radio, I'm not turning it off. I might even hum along for a
As
quick
a
moment.
Scissor Sisters fan, I enjoy it.
I
Y'all
put
can
it.
hate.
I put it on the same level of like the hold on, just a little bit tighter now, baby. Like when that song comes on,
I've
it's a
never heard
fun
of that
song, and it reminds me of road music, and it also reminds me very oddly of the in the summertime when the weather is high. You can kind of
and as a former Uber driver, I'm all down for road music. If that song came on the radio, I wouldn't change it because, you know, when you're on the road, you need music that's just sort of, you know, you don't hate it. You don't.
It's the milieu that you kind of need to fill. But this was their big hit breakthrough
better than
song.
silence. It's better than silence.
There are a lot worse things to listen to. I mean, I will say that.
We're gonna have that show. We may have already had that show too.
Yeah, our April Fool's Day joke show is gonna be a bunch of songs that are like, God, these are just
and
bad.
And we can tell there's a difference in the style and the genre of these two songs. Like one was alternative pop rock, this one was indie pop rock. They're just trying to find a genre that they can find the easiest album to.
So we're 2 songs in and we're not impressed, is what you're saying. Now, we did the cover wars of Pink Floyd's Comfortably Numb versus Scissor Sisters' Comfortably Numb. Opinions?
I myself, now granted, I feel that both songs are very good. And they are clearly both, you know, sound very differently. One is more poppy and the other one is a little bit more dark.
I agree with you, Mike W. Go ahead and speak.
I do not agree with either of you. The Pink Floyd version of Comfortably Numb is a classic example of psychedelic rock. That it's an example of 1979. You know, it's a classic. People know that song. The Scissor Sister version is, you know, it's one of those rare examples of a triple cover. You know, it covers, you know, Stevie Nicks, you know, Edge of 17. It covers Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and
So you're siding with Pink Floyd as being great and Scissor Sisters being derivative.
Pink Floyd is amazing. It's the first, you know, the first psychedelic album I heard was in the 2nd grade, and it was The Wall. And the second was, you know, my freshman year of college, and I listened to The Dark Side of the Moon, and I watched The Wizard of Oz. And it was such a cliche, but even then, Pink Floyd is the better band.
Well, I'm going to be a little bit bitchy. Number one, my only Pink Floyd I have is The Wall. And I don't dislike it, but there's not much there that makes me want to go back and pursue it because 3 of the 4 songs on there or whatever all sound the same. They're just various versions of Comfortably Numb. That kind of begins to annoy me. And I bought the Pink Floyd The Wall trying to impress some guy that I never got a piece of. But he made out with my friend's friend. And I bitch, I drove you here. I was angry. He did look good shirtless, I won't lie.
What I feel is a little bit different between the two is Pink Floyd's version is more like it's more dark because it deals more with you know.
Well, it's supposed to be dark.
It's supposed to be about heroin use.
We have not heard from Dan.
Whereas the
Dan, what have you brought to the table?
The cover version brought an interesting question to my mind. I realized I had never wondered why the Bee Gees never covered Pink Floyd, and after hearing this, now I know why I never wondered that.
Yeah, this song sounds like the Bee Gees tried to do a Pink Floyd cover.
This song, Comfortably Numb, the very, very first time I actually ever heard it was by the Scissor Sisters. So I was actually quite surprised when I found out that it was by Pink Floyd.
Can I just say I don't like either?
Oh my god.
Oh wow! So Mikey Chip does not like
Wow.
either, and I'm going to throw the wrench in everyone's wheels because I'm going to say I love both. I love both.
I like both.
Because hold up, what is the point of the song "Comfortably Numb"? The song "Comfortably Numb" is about abusing a substance, alcohol, drugs, or some
you know
kind of
that's my
outside influence
But if you
to
listen
reach
to the
a
lyrics,
level of bliss where you finally don't care anymore and you're
Sounds like my
comfortably
life.
numb.
Sounds like my
in the
life.
in the lyrics, it's actually about abusing heroin because when he speaks
cares.
about it's just a little pinprick. That means that
People
he's looking
inject
at it
other
to shoot.
drugs. I
Of course
worked
they do,
for
but that.
that's a specific for you for heroin.
The music artist at the time, when he created the song, that was his drug of
Nobody
choice.
is making the claim that anybody involved in Pink Floyd's was involved in heroin.
Like a friend of mine one time said, is like, I'm not glamorous enough for cocaine. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, I like to do drugs and watch really bad videos. And with cocaine, you want to be on the dance floor. And comfortably numb for me is about reaching a level of contentment. And for the Scissor Sisters, and I have to say, this song was for the Scissor Sisters.
Yeah.
They're channeling the Bee Gees through Pink Floyd. Don't get me wrong. But it works for me as a disco euphoria. I can't be the only one who's
You
done one
take
too
enough
many
Vicodin
shots and
you
just
get
dance.
comfortably numb too, honey.
You took my last Vicodin, bitch.
Well, one last thing about this cover.
And I think-
I do want to say I have to give Scissor Sisters some credit. I do enjoy hearing cover versions of songs that are done in completely opposite genres, so I have to give them credit.
Very,
for
very
trying.
different. They were
Very
not
different.
trying
Well,
to
I
do
mean-
Pink Floyd at all. This was a disco
absolutely
track.
I love the
not.
sped up tape deck effect.
Jake Shear's vocals work best when he's like sped up but not shrill. Does that make any sense?
His
like
voice is
the-
just very falsetto and just very high.
I
just
don't like the
Bee Gees.
high
He doesn't try to be the
falsettos.
Bee Gees.
Exactly. Well, I don't think they're
almost have to
trying.
admit it.
I do not think they're trying to be the Bee Gees. I mean, yes,
But
yes,
you just agreed.
I mean-
you just agreed, sweetie.
Well, no,
You're the
I
only
agree.
one.
I
We have it.
agreed
We have it on
that-
tape. We
I
have
agree-
it on
okay,
tape.
I agreed that they're very falsetto like the Beatles. I mean, the Bee Gees. Excuse me. My bad. But they are trying. Yes, I think they tried to be original, but yet at the same time they pull in inspiration from all these other different artists.
No.
So naturally, they
Homage
they sound
without
a little
innovation
bit like,
isn't
you know,
homage. It's
it's
karaoke.
Ooh, unison.
So we're now gonna go ahead and play "Tits on the Radio," "Filthy Gorgeous," and it can't come quickly enough because the end of this show can't come quickly enough.
You are listening to Bottoms of the Barrel on Q4 Radio, AM 1680, Q4.org.
You are listening to Bottoms of the Barrel on Q4 Radio, AM 1680, Q4.org. I am your host, Thomas Bottoms. I am joined by Dan,
Hello.
Juan,
Hey,
Mike W, my partner in crime, Mikey Chip,
Ahoy, hoy.
and we are revisiting Scissor Sisters, the self-titled album, because she sells seashells by the seashore. And we just sat through Tits on the Radio and Filthy Gorgeous. And I have to be honest, the only notes I have for Tits on the Radio is straight up fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum! Can't sell tits on the radio.
I just want to.
Can't sell tits on the radio. Go on, child. Talk.
Yeah,
Talk about tits on the radio.
I just want to say, just tell that to Howard Stern because I don't think that's right.
Well, I will have to say, not a big fan of Scissor Sisters, but these are the two songs I like from them.
On most of their albums, the woman singer is usually gets like one song where she's the actual like only singer throughout all of it, and it's usually the best song in the album.
Are you saying that woman is the Stevie Nicks of this Fleetwood Mac called Scissor Sisters, and she should have gone solo on the edge of 17 on the White Wing?
I don't think
Stand
she's
back,
that
stand
good.
back.
I don't think she's that good. I wouldn't throw that out.
Yeah, because Stevie Nicks can sing.
But it really is fair point. For me, it's one of those songs that just it makes me feel good and makes me giggle.
Can't sell tits on the radio.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Dan, what's your opinion?
It's got a good riff.
What's your opinion?
Well, I mean, if you're going to listen to this late 70s music, which this obviously wants to be, there's a million albums out there better than this. I mean, take a look at Marianne Faithfull's Broken English, Adolescent Sex from Japan. I mean, if you want that sound, you can have that sound.
You can go to the original.
Exactly, and the originals are better.
Wow.
I do have to say that it's pretty nice that this just fades into the background.
Until I hear the original, I'm gonna keep loving this one.
So you are the Puff Daddy of music critics that you adore. Oh my God, I love that. I love that Notorious B.I.G. been around the world and I've been player hated. I mean, that was strong stuff. Who cares about Lisa Stansfield and been around the world?
Don't get me. No. That is a bad example.
So are you saying Scissor Sisters are better than Puff Daddy?
Lisa Stanfield will walk over all of them.
Yeah, but we've already established that Stevie Nicks is the better singer, so why is she trying?
But
stand back, stand back.
And see, this kind of... I like to hate on Beyonce, so we're gonna take a moment to hate on Beyonce.
No.
Where Beyonce is like, oh, she's as glamorous as Diana Ross, except she isn't.
No. I don't want to involve me in this conversation. That's
Beyonce is a cheap knockoff.
And so Scissor Sisters
Thank
seems
you.
to be a sum of other people's parts. Like Beyonce seems to be the Walmart shop of divas, where she's as glamorous as Diana Ross, but she isn't. She's the force of Tina Turner.
Why I said
except
she's
she's
cheap knockoff.
forced.
Okay, to the
She has the vocals of Mariah and Whitney, except, oh, sweet Jesus, she don't.
To the Beehive, I'm not involved in this conversation.
She had the dance skills of Janet, except she doesn't.
Beyonce is that knockoff Louis Vuitton bag that you get that you think is real, but
If anything, if
You know,
anyone
it's
thinks
not.
Beyonce is real,
Okay.
that's just sad.
Michael,
But no,
I'd
no,
like
no,
to
okay,
remind
back
you that
dialing
you
it
stole
down.
her albums.
I like. Okay, don't get me wrong.
Okay,
I like
and
Beyonce.
we
but
are
no.
done.
Okay, we're done with the
talking-
Beyonce.
on,
We're done with Beyonce.
Okay,
No more
okay.
Beyonce hate. But Dan mentioned, and it's going to be a future episode, hopefully, Marianne Faithfull, Broken English, which was an album I've been hearing about. I
Never heard
listened
of it.
to it, and it's one of those like, wow, this is an amazing album, basically from start to finish. And you keep saying... And there's no hatred of Scissor Sisters, but Scissor Sisters, their first album, which we're kind of reviewing and bitching about and whatever, is on the same par of Marianne Faithfull's Broken English, but Marianne Faithfull's Broken English made me want to listen to more Marianne Faithfull. This reminds me of Elton John, Queen, Pink Floyd, and we haven't even started the cover wars, or we're halfway through it, where I actually loved the cover wars that I would say Comfortably Numb by Scissor Sisters would be the song I'd like to listen to. But it's the
It was
thing
the
that
first
hits
time
me
I
over
ever
the
heard
head,
that
like they
song.
become less annoying as I hear them. And next time I want to listen to my Sounds of the 70s collection, which I do have the Have a Nice Decade 7 CD box set bought in the late 90s, only to realize they really pick and chose. Like they went from like 1970 J1. January 1st, 1970 to like 1977. And then they just dropped disco and new wave and punk and everything. And it's a nice genre, but I'm not sure what more Scissor Sisters brings to it. And I don't know if I want to hear more songs of this as we're now enjoying cocktails. I'm in my 70s Supergirl glass, you and Poison Ivy and Juan, you Wolverine. I don't know what this rant's about. Someone needed to rail me in, Mikey Chip. Be Barry Gordy.
And onto a
All right, so
song.
Filthy Gorgeous. We're now gonna. How did you feel about Filthy? Oh, you're gorgeous.
I think this is one of the. I think this is one of their only songs that I can watch with gay porn.
God bless us all.
God bless us all.
In the defense, I've seen the video for Filthy Gorgeous, and straight up, if you're a go-go boy, which Jake Shears was,
Well, yeah.
similar to Pussy Tourette, they were go-go boys that somehow stumbled into music careers. Is Filthy Gorgeous is
I love that he puts Pussy Tourette's in with the Scissor Sisters.
Actually, they fit.
it's like RuPaul if he ever worked as a go-go boy. It's like, which music do you want to listen to? And Pussy Tourette versus Scissor Sisters is Pussy Tourette.
As a person who's kind of addicted to go-go boys, I mean, I'm not going to disagree.
That's a
with you.
go-go boy dance song. It's
That
like, honey,
is.
bring out your best jockstrap
That
and
is.
work the hell
the
out
kind
of
of
this
song
tune
that will have
that
me
you
bring
are
out-
going to just drag
That
your
is the kind
body
of
across
song-
that floor, honey.
That is the
Be
kind of-
all extra greased up. Show them why you're called Triclops, honey.
Gross. Gross.
You got 3 brown eyes.
No, but that's the kind of song that would have me pick
Unless
up
you're an albino, then it's 3
$500
pink eyes.
I do like brown eyes.
Excuse me, I was told that only Scissor Sisters were in my contract, so I don't know what just happened here.
Dan, who has never been to a go-go boy shop, he has
It's not.
never.
Never.
Darling, what did you make out of Filthy Gorgeous?
Okay, I have to admit, the song itself is fun. I still don't think any bit of it is original, but I think they're incorporating.
No.
I think they're trying to incorporate more of just the Bee Gees and Elton John and Queen.
Plus a
But
little
like
extra
gay
disco.
porny.
Yeah,
It makes me really happy. I don't know what it is about it, but there's something. It's just like
It
tits on
says-
the radio. It makes me smile.
I think with Filthy Gorgeous is, as a gay male who I have been bullied multiple times in my life. It's like, oh, you're disgusting. But it's said in such an over the top, just let it all pour out, show it kind of way that it's an empowering. We're taking the horrible things they called us and we're just shaking what mama gave us if we had a good relationship with our mama. That's more you, Mike W. and Mikey Chip. I ain't got that good relationship with my mama. That's why I'm all that is why I'm all like Prudence.
Thomas, I don't want to see anything pour out of you.
And on that note,
We're gonna say goodbye to Juan and play more Scissor Sisters.
It's great being here.
You are listening to Bottoms of the Barrel on Q4 Radio, AM 1680, Q4.org.
You are listening to Bottoms of the Barrel on Q4 Radio, AM 1680, Q4.org. I am your host, Thomas Bottoms. I am joined by Dan,
Hello.
Mike W,
Hey.
my partner in crime, Mikey Chip,
hi.
who's got a piece of satin next to him.
Satan.
She's a hungry Satan.
How hungry are these heifers, honey? Hungry hippo?
That I just petted her and I'm gonna not pet her and she loves me.
She got that tail a wagging.
She does not look very happy right now.
San's nickname is Satan. That has been given to her by a GE GE gas. They turned on my gas and the attendant called Satan Satan. And the vet we take Satan to, that also has accidentally called her Satan many times.
Jeez, I wonder why.
Compared to Satin and Boogie going to the vet with Jasper on a recent trip, Jasper is She-Hulk. Like, you can talk her into places and she's okay going there because she's one of those, like, I'm indestructible and if I want to leave, I'm just going to head in that direction, right? You know this, right? You're not going to spend time to stop me. Why? Because you're smart. I will beat everything that comes your way and then I will keep going. That is my definition of She-Hulk, by the way. Who would you be if nothing could physically hurt you?
Let's put it this way with Satin at the vet. She has notes on how to handle her.
Satin,
her permanent record followed her.
if you look at her the wrong way, she growls at you. Like this. Yeah, I mean.
We're going to move on from Satin because this is a Scissor Sisters review episode. And you, at this point, you will notice, oh my God, we are playing songs we aren't commenting about. And that's because those are Mike W. songs. Have you enjoyed your selection of Scissor Sisters? See, let me hold up. It's my show and I'm going to speak. I'm going to talk. I do not have the Elton John glam rock early David Bowie filtered through Queen, Pink Floyd, and Led Zeppelin gene. I just don't. I want to have the fun pop, disco, new wave. I want something to get me going and moving. And Scissor Sisters isn't aiming for that. They are aiming to homage a lot of the Elton John, David Bowie, and the fabulous asexual rock and roll music of the past that good or indifferent I just didn't care for. And so we have included later tracks by you, Mike W. What did you get from Scissor Sisters?
Well, now granted, their first album,
Go on.
I guess you could say
Steve.
it's very much a very introductory kind of album to them. I mean, their second and third album, I actually thoroughly enjoy. I mean, now their second album, if you had listened to the entirety of the album, you would notice a very kind of like show tuney kind of feel to it. Like it's very show tune. You know, and you just kind
show
of
to
Scissor
Sisters channels
feel
a
like
lot
you're
of
in
the
your
theatrical, the
musical.
Elton John, the Queen, very music theatrical, which then got dumbed down to sticks and Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto, in case we're filling time. It's a genre I don't like I don't inherently like it. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's like when people say Meryl Streep is the best actress ever. It's like, I'd rather sit through.
Did you see her in Mamma Mia? I mean, like, Get Out.
I don't even have the ABBA gene to sit through Mamma Mia.
And that would be another
honey,
band that
we should. Oh Lord, we should
I
have
would
totally
rather
done an
watch
ABBA
an
show
Annette Bening
because
movie, Sigourney Weaver, Isabella Rossellini in Blue Velvet. I won't be a jerk, but Meryl Streep could not do the Isabella Rossellini role in Blue Velvet. Like to come out of that movie coming up clean and that you are an abused woman and all this bad stuff happened to you and you kind of liked it along the way. I don't think Meryl Streep is that actress. I don't want to be rude.
I don't know if it's just the amount of what I've drank, but
Was that my
kind of space?
That was my Nancy Grace moment. So we had It Can't Come Quickly Enough, which is off the Party Monster soundtrack, which is a soundtrack I deeply enjoy. It's like the Above the Rim. If we ever do genre soundtracks, there's a lot of good to find off of these soundtracks to invest your money. And It Can't Come Quickly Enough is off the Party Monster soundtrack, and it is a track that stood out to me. Like I actually did like it, but it's very much like I'm gonna fly like an eagle, simpered through early Depeche Mode, and finally you get your little boots stuck on repeat, and that's the Scissor Sisters.
Well, not. I guess you could.
Now, mind you, this was recorded during the regime of Donald Trump, and I throw this out, terrorist, in the hope of free speech. that like Donald Trump's my president, and I really hope that ends quickly. I dream of a Donald Trump poster called "From Russia with Love," and it's Donald Trump as James Bond, his ultimate Sean Connery, if you will. If you can mind that only women who want to like know to have money or better lives, and they have a mind for business, because Ivana did have a mind for business. She made that man's money. Don't forget that. Anyway, we're in the President Trump regime.
God help us.
God help.
Oh, God. And it can't come quickly enough is like maybe 1904-esque vibe. Like, I don't hate the song. I just don't know if I want to hear it ever again. Because it's a 1984 and Trump needs to end. Goodbye, Trump! Ugh. Any opinions on it? Can't come quickly enough.
I will allow Dan to give his opinion first.
I'm gonna say, and this is gonna come as a surprise, I loved it, but there's a reason for it.
Tell us. I don't know why I'm giving the deep boogie hiss, because I actually like this one. I'm actually nice to this one. So go on. It's a basic like. What do you have to add, Dan?
Well,
was your opinion smarter than mine?
No.
Go on.
Well, the reason I enjoyed this particular one is because I eventually realized I forgot who was playing. I figured it was some other band, and I got to wander off into my happy place for a while. So I just want to thank Scissor Sisters for making me forget what was playing and letting me experience something else for a while.
You found bliss. And that is kind of like the Pink Floyd Comfortably Numb bliss that Scissor Sisters took disco, but then now they're borrowing Pink Floyd's Comfortably Numb, where it can't come quickly enough, where we do realize at some point time will march on. We can either march with it or just kind of stay behind. And in my
1978.
In my defense, I still love polyester. In fact, my closets are filled with nothing but the finest of polyester.
I guess you could say it for me. I mean, like Dan, I went to a different place, but I was enjoying the song, I guess you could say, because I slightly went to that place where, you know, you're in the middle of a trick, right? And you're enjoying yourself, and you're trying to do that oral satisfaction thing. And the song, you know, it can't come quickly enough. You know, it's like, you know, okay, well, you know, I'm trying to get this person out the door. I mean,
your place is small. Bitch, leave is quick enough. It's like 2 words, honey. Like, instead of practicing no in the mirror, practice bitch, leave. Get out of my house. Adios, good loss. Grab your coat, keep stepping. Yeah, don't let the door hit you with a good low split. Get out of my house. Get out of my house. We'll also listen to Return to Oz, where Emerald City is now a crystal town. And this is Scissor Sisters at their most Pink Floyd, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Elton Johnist.
And I'm going to add Led Zeppelin trying to channel Lord of the Rings.
Now, I have a very strong opinion about this song because I am the only person here that has actually seen the movie Return to Oz. One of, like...
With Fairuza Balk?
Yes. It was her very, very first film.
I saw the 1973, like... version, which involved the male character because to protect their daughter, they had turned him into a boy, and then they were going to turn him into the girl at the end of the film. And at some point, I think someone threw like, "Oh, the wolf attacks," and they just straight up like threw a dog at somebody. And this guy made softcore porn films, but he also did this Oz movie, and I remember this Oz movie with Jack Sparrow and the beanstalk and the magical bed, and I watched the low budget version. You saw the one with production. Go on, child. Go on.
Well, I guess I'm not old enough to know that. But anyhow, the movie, this song would have been like the perfect ending song to this movie. Like they speak about the wind up man, and then the Skeksis. And
What?
No. Okay. The Skeksis was kind of like a homage to the Dark Crystal, because the Skeksis were not in the Return to Oz. Now the Wheelies, on the other hand, they were, and then the Queen would. And then when they said something about the Queen with 12 heads or 100 heads or something like that. that was
okay. We're gonna just dial it back versus a very bad Fairuza Balk movie, which I would rather watch American History X, where she gets her Mr. Skin degree in that one, because you do get some full frontal from Edward Norton, honey. Somehow all gay men love American History X and the shower scene, rape scene, honey. Dan, have you yourself experienced the American History X shower scene, rape scene? Child, once you watch it, you'll get your rape fantasies. But when I listened to Return to Oz, the only thing I got from 2004 and the same thing I got from 2017 is that I was friends with the Coke Queens. And mind you, I didn't do drugs with the Coke Queens, but I was friends with the Coke Queens because we both had something in common. Both our lives are really messed up, and oh my God, do I have to recover from this. And maybe this is why I don't dance at dance bars and gay bars anymore, because they don't do it for me. Because Emerald City's now a crystal town, and that's a reference. At best, I hope they're aiming for it, to crystal meth, which was a very popular drug in 2004. And the side effect of crystal meth is you lose your teeth and you have bad skin. And as someone who grew up being called Freddy Krueger, I just say no to crystal meth. I just do. But Magdebia, as someone who has lost a tooth while watching the movie Teeth, realizing that white blonde women on the screen will always have more than you have in real life. Child, I can't get more absurd than David Lynch on that one, honey. Talk about it.
I'm going to blame it on that dry jalapeno bread that you tried to force down my throat.
You love that bread. You loved that bread. You're like,
Child, you lost bread. You were eating bread and lost a tooth while watching the movie Teeth.
I had to drench it in nacho cheese. I mean, literally drench it.
In our defense, we have nacho cheese in the house, so you can just kind of dip everything to get it through. Like that celery diet. Celery and nacho cheese do taste kind of good. But Dad, we have put you on the spot. We have compared watching a friend lose a tooth while watching the movie Teeth. It's a curse word, so it's the S word, itty.
Yes.
Saturday that got your bar career started.
Yes.
And you saw Teeth. What did you feel about Teeth?
Now, Teeth is a good movie. I am openly going to say that because it is. And Lord knows so many of those movies you brought in before Teeth.
I honestly have not met too many people that have said Teeth is a good movie.
And actually, you care about Dodd. You care about the lead actress.
It's not a horrible movie.
Have you ever seen Skull and Crossbones?
Oh God, Skull and Crossbones, where frats compete against other frats, and then they have anal sex. Wasn't that the plot? I don't know.
Painful.
That sounds like a porno.
And the coffins look like cardboard.
And at that note, we're going to be playing some more Scissor Sisters.
Yay! You are listening to Bottoms of the Barrel on Q4 Radio, AM 1680. Q4.org.
You are listening to Bottoms of the Barrel. I am your host, Thomas Bottoms. You are listening to us on Q4 Radio, AM 1680, Q4.org. You can email me at show@bottomsofthebarrel.com. I don't know if that is actually a good email address.
Go to the Facebook page. Go to the Facebook page.
Okay, Mikey Chips, you will not reach me. You have to understand this. Like, people make my life happy, and if you hate me, you won't get there. But we have been listening to Scissor Sisters and the Return to Oz, and we're gonna go listen to Mary and Faithful now because I can find something more to like about it. I guess when it comes to music, I like something I understand with some odd edges. And Sisters were just something I didn't understand, and they had edges. But Mike W., this is your farewell show. You wrote songs about information about songs we will play. And child, do you want your moment? Is this your Andy Warhol 15 minutes of fame without a cum shot?
I guess apparently so. I mean,
let it out.
So, okay. Now, the songs that I guess apparently are going to be played. The song Transistor, for me, it's very kind of like, I guess, spacey kind of song. Yes, it sounds a little bit poppy, kind of Pink Floyd-ish. It just there's
let out, child, let out.
Well, there's certain parts in it that just like the bursts. It seems like bursts of energy for me that I just absolutely love in the song. And
no gay man dislikes bursts. Say that right there, Dan.
No comment.
Keep it going.
But
let out,
I
child.
mean, and it just seems like, you know, it's just one of those really good songs that make me want to, you know, be happy. And I like it's a difficult song to explain for me because I mean I really
happiness is something that is missing a lot from music. That there is some level of happiness or joy people seem to have in their life that in current production we don't have.
Happy music, are you talking about? Well, I like really sad, depressing songs. I'm serious. I'm not lying.
Well, then you would have got along. Then you and Juan should totally talk about like depressing music because God, there are songs that Juan will play that just makes me want to just like crawl into a hole.
I go for the very sad, depressing.
See, I like sunshine, rainbows, and butterflies kind of music. I guess you could say because I mean, in life there's enough like, you know, depression and like sadness. So why focus on the negative?
Guilty of lust and sin.
Hey Thomas, you take it from Mike.
You're stealing my moment.
Love tried to take
Singing is the happy language.
So if everybody doesn't already know, he's trying. I do. Pronounce trying.
Trying, yes.
To sing Madonna's song.
Yes, I chose a diva whose vocal range I felt I could possibly compare to. but at the end of the day, Madonna can sing and I can't. And if she can't sing, well, she somehow made $500 million off of those vocal cords, so I ain't one to judge. But like Scissor Sisters, I'm glad we played them. I'm glad we explored them. We're going to explore Mary and Faithful at a future show. Mike W., I'm going to miss you. I have to say, I will miss you. This is your final hurrah, your final goodbye thrown on radio. We're going to edit you so you sound perfect just like Miss Britney Spears.
Thank God for auto-tune.
And this has been Bottoms of the Barrel. This has been Scissor Sisters, and we hope you got something out of it. I don't hate them. They're just not for me.
I love them like the living life.
Dad, speak!
Well, like I said earlier, there's a lot worse things to listen to. They're just not original. They do nothing for me because it's been done so many times before, and it's been done better before.
That's now, because you're only listening to their first album.
No, the other ones, from what I heard.
Now, Dan, a thing I want to do as a future show is one of the things I love about owning the best of the Velvelettes is the Velvelettes were kind of treated as a demo band.
Really?
And so the demo band would become other songs for other artists like Diana Ross, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. I'm pretty sure the Velvelettes would attest through. But as someone who likes the Motown sound, I can really get a lot of the best of the Velvelettes. I can get a lot of the Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, while our first go-to place may be the Supremes. And don't get us wrong, Motown needed a star, and Diana Ross was the ultimate Josephine Baker, Joan Crawford star of Motown.
Josephine Baker was fabulous. She was gorgeous.
And so is Miss Ross.
Yeah.
The Scissor Sisters, that if you are a fan of the early 70s, Elton John, David Bowie, glam rock with some early Bee Gees, like
BJ?
these aren't genres I have wanted to pursue, so I'm not the test. But Dan, you're white. You came from a white background.
Honey, you are lighter than Dan is, so I don't even know where you talking, honey.
And on that note, we're going to need to cut the show. Thank you for listening to Bottoms of the Barrel.
You have been listening to Bottoms of the Barrel on AM 1680 Q4 Radio, AM Q4.org. This is last appearance of Mike W.
Thank you.
How do you feel you spent your 15 minutes of fame? I see a Scimitar comic book behind you that has a hardcore sex scene. And honey, I want to hear your opinions.
I feel a little tear in my eye. Moving away from Chicago is bittersweet. And I am definitely going to miss every individual that I have met here.
Life happens for a reason. And I met you on this journey of life, and you have become one of the greatest people I've enjoyed seeing and spending time with. And I'm eager to see what you accomplish in your life while you're away from me. And I'm eager to see what I do when I'm away from you, and I look forward to seeing you on my way to my family reunion in August. You have to understand that. I can't get any more sincere with you. It's like, you are fabulous. I'm not sure we are good for each other in our lives, honey. And I'm going to enjoy this party. I'm just going to give you big hugs, and I'm going to miss you. I just will. And this has been Scissor Sisters, Bottoms of the Barrel, fandom, and goodbye.